talk today about why and how to save, how to pay yourself first, and how to make your future a priority. In order to save, you need to understand this concept. Debt steals your future. Saving secures your future. You have to understand that in order to even get the philosophy of why and how to save, why and how to pay yourself forward. Is that saving is actually securing your future, your safety, your power, your options, your control. It reduces your risk. It does a whole lot of things. But in order to understand that, we've got to understand that debt is actually what steals that. When your income is already allocated for 10 or 20 or 30 years, you're not going to have those options to save and do what you want to do. Dave Ramsey says your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. But if your income is tied up in payments, then you don't get to save, and you don't get to prepare for the future in the same way that you could. So the assumption today, in everything that I'm going to teach you, is that you want to work towards becoming debt-free in order to save for your purchases, large and small, rather than financing them. Okay, that's kind of the overarching assumption before we get into saving. And if you want to live a life without payments, if you want to live debt-free like we talked about yesterday, for those of you in my session then, you have to save. You don't have any other options. You can't just pay for a car out of one paycheck. You have to save and plan and prepare and know how to do that. Your emergency plan goes from being a credit card, which amplifies your stress in an emergency, to being an emergency fund that you simply take cash out and pay for things. And then it turns an emergency into an inconvenience. That's what saving does. You have an emergency fund and cash to cover those things. What about Christmas? Christmas becomes this fun time that you plan for. And you save up cash and you go spend it joyfully on all of your family and friends and kids that you want to prepare for. And it doesn't become this dark cloud on a credit card that follows you into January and the new year, right? It's a very different experience of spending on Christmas when you pay cash and you save for it and you plan for it and you enjoy it. And it doesn't haunt you in January and steal your new year that you're making payments on those credit cards. And just by the time you've got Christmas paid off, by the next year, it's time to do it again, right? And so saving totally changes our philosophy on how we handle our money. We go from being a lifestyle of debt to being a lifestyle of saving. And it's important to understand that a lifestyle of debt is actually the exact opposite of a lifestyle of saving. Because in one you owe, and in the other you own. One, you're not in control, the other you are in control. So for you to understand why saving works and why it's so important, you have to understand that debt doesn't. Because you won't be really motivated to save if always having a financing option or a debt option as your backup plan is an option for you.